Hi, I'm Dr. Aidoo with the Department of Anatomy and Cell Biology. I want to welcome you to yet another series. We are looking at the skull today. So that is the human skull, but without the mandible. Okay, the mandible is the lower jaw, so we don't have the lower jaw. So we are looking at a side view of it. And that is the front view. So that is the orbit which houses the eyeball, and those are the nasal cavities with the septum dividing it into two. Then we want to look at this region known as the zygomatic arch. Zygomatic arch consists of an extension or a process of the temporal bone. So we want to look at the top, which is the Calvaria, which has been cut. So when you take the Calvaria off, this is what you find. So now you see the base of the skull. The big space you see there is known as the foramen magnum. That is what will contain the medulla oblongata, which will continue as the spinal cord. So the spinal cord gets through the foramen magnum together with the medulla. And the brain will sit inside the spaces provided here. So you have the frontal bone, you have the temporal bone, you have the parietal bone, you have the occipital bone, you have the sphenoid bone, which looks like a butterfly with wings, and then you have this place that is the ethmoid bone. The ethmoid bone contains smaller spaces like a sieve known as the cribriform plate, and those are the spaces through which the olfactory nerves will come through into the olfactory bulb, and then the olfactory bulb will extend as the olfactory tract, which will send the impulses to the cortex, where the smell will be interpreted. So basically we have these depressions which will contain some portions of the brain. So we call this the anterior cranial fossa. That is the middle cranial fossa, and the posterior cranial fossa. The anterior cranial fossa will contain portions of the frontal lobe of the brain. Then this will contain the middle cranial fossa will contain the temporal lobes of the brain. Then the posterior cranial fossa will contain the occipital lobe. This portion of the frontal bone is actually the roof, it's forming the roof of the orbit. So when we look at it, down there will be the roof we are talking about. So basically that is what I have for you today. I'll come to you again with another series. I hope this video helps. Thank you very much.